Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel for another deep dive into Salem's latest chaos. So, let's start things off with that absolute nightmare sequence waiting for us next week at the Horton cabin. We all saw the setup coming, right? Tate and Holly, along with Ari Horton and Aaron Green, are supposedly heading up to the cabin to just have some fun, roast some marshmallows, and escape the never-ending drama of Salem. But this is days of our lives. Nobody actually gets a peaceful vacation. Ever. And honestly, the whole vibe is just off from the second they get there. You have these 4 teenagers trying to act normal, but the tension is so thick, you could cut it with a knife. Holly is just sitting there by the campfire later in the evening, looking completely brooding and distraught. The flames are flickering, the shadows are creeping up, and Holly just looks like she is carrying the weight of the entire world on her shoulders. And then she stands up, wanders off a bit into the dark, and makes a gruesome discovery. She literally stumbles onto a crime scene. And the way it plays out is just pure soap opera gold, but also completely terrifying. Holly starts screaming, just this absolute blood-curdling scream that echoes through the woods and makes your skin crawl. And then Tate rushes over, and Holly just completely collapses into his arms. She literally faints dead away, and Tate goes into full-blown panic mode. I mean, what is a teenage boy supposed to do in that situation? He's holding his unconscious girlfriend, while Ari and Aaron are probably just standing there frozen in shock. Because lying right there, washed up near the cabin, is a dead body. And let's be real, we all know exactly who that body belongs to. Sophia has been a walking red flag for months. And now she is a literal corpse, ruining a weekend getaway. It's crazy. It is just so crazy to watch this unfold because the shock value is totally there, but at the same time, my brain is just spinning with what this actually means for the characters moving forward. But here is the kicker, and this is where I need to go on a little rant, so bear with me. A lot of fans online are just gasping at the shock value of the dead body, but I actually think this storyline is exposing a massive, glaring flaw in how the writers are handling Holly's character. Let's be real for a second. I am so sick and tired of Holly constantly playing the victim. I mean, I am exhausted by it. Every single time she turns around, she is either trapped, traumatized, or crying in a corner. Why do the writers refuse to let her grow a spine? It's like they want her to be this perpetual damsel in distress who can't handle a single breeze without shattering into a million pieces. And it is so frustrating to watch because she has the genetic potential to be so much more. I mean, just look back at her mother. Look at Nicole Walker, especially if you think back to like 10 or 15 years ago. Nicole was fiery. Nicole was a force of nature who did not take garbage from anyone, not even the DiMeras. Sure, she made mistakes. She made huge, terrible, messy mistakes, but she always found a way to claw her way out of them. She fought back. She schemed. She survived. But they are turning Holly into this fragile glass doll who just breaks at the slightest hint of trouble. And what is she going to do now? Is she just going to rely on Tate and Aaron to coddle her for the next 6 months? Tate is practically dropping out of school and throwing his own life away to play her savior, and Aaron is just sort of standing around. It's pathetic. It really is. I want to see Holly get mad. I want to see her fight back against Amy Choi's ridiculous accusations. But no, she just screams and faints into a boy's arms at the first sign of real trauma. Okay, maybe I'm being too harsh. I know, that sounded really dramatic, but you get what I mean, right? I mean, Finding a dead body in the woods is objectively terrifying. Anyone would scream. Anyone would probably pass out if they tripped over their former best friend's bloated corpse in the dark. So maybe I should cut the girl some slack. But it's just the bigger pattern that bothers me. It fits the show's usual style of making the teen girls overly dependent on the teen boys. And I just wish they would break that cycle. But anyway, let me pull myself back on track here before I completely lose my mind over Holly's character development. Or lack thereof. So, let's talk about the body itself. Fan theory alert, you guys. I am 99% convinced. No, actually, I am 100% convinced that the body she finds is crazy Sophia. We know Sophia has been spiraling out of control. We know she set up that whole fake cyberbullying thing. She wrote that fake suicide note blaming Holly. And she was planning to just skip town and ruin Holly's life in the process. She wanted everyone to think Holly drove her to suicide so Amy would press charges. But Sophia's little plan got completely derailed by someone much, much worse. Kristen DiMera. And this is where the plot gets so thick and messy. If you remember from a few episodes ago, Kristen manipulated Sophia into trying to take down Johnny. Kristen wanted EJ to suffer, so she used this unstable, unhinged teenager to do her dirty work. Sophia went to Johnny's apartment, pepper sprayed him, tied him up, and literally lit a match to burn the place down. But Sophia is an amateur. She messed up. And Kristen? Kristen does not tolerate failure. And Kristen certainly doesn't leave loose ends walking around to testify against her. So Kristen took matters into her own hands. She literally bashed Sophia over the head with a rock and had her goons dump the body in the river. She told Sophia, no emotions, no mess, and then she made the biggest, bloodiest mess possible. And now, the river currents have apparently dragged poor, crazy Sophia all the way to the shoreline near the Horton cabin, just in time for Holly to stumble over her. It is poetic justice in a really twisted, morbid way, considering Sophia was trying to frame Holly for her death anyway. But the real issue here is the physical evidence. If Kristen manipulated Sophia, and then Kristen killed Sophia, then Kristen's fingerprints are all over this murder, both metaphorically and maybe even literally. I mean, did Kristen make sure to wipe the rock? Did her thugs leave DNA? Jada and Rafe are going to be swarming that cabin, pulling tape, taking photos, and they are going to find something. Jada already told Amy Choi that they found blood matching Sophia near the railing in town. Now they have the actual body. The cover-up is about to blow wide open, which brings me to EJ. Oh, EJ. EJ is already dealing with so much right now. He has Lexi waking up from the dead. His Versavix drug is failing. Cat Green is playing him like a fiddle for the ISA. And now his sister has murdered a teenager who tried to incinerate his son. It's too much. EJ is going to absolutely lose his mind when he finds out what Kristen did. He already suspects her of being involved in the attack on Johnny. But when he realizes she actually ordered the hit and then murdered the pawn, the DiMera mansion is going to explode. Kristen is sitting there drinking champagne, thinking she is untouchable, but EJ is going to tear her apart. EJ is going to be dragged right into the middle of a homicide investigation. Because let's be real, Rafe already hates EJ. Rafe and Kat are looking for any excuse to take EJ down. If they can tie Kristen's actions back to the DiMera enterprise, or if EJ tries to cover it up to protect the family name, which he always does, because EJ is EJ, then he is going to be an accessory to murder. Who actually believes this is going to end well? Nobody believes that. EJ thinks he is the master of the universe. But his universe is literally crumbling. His son almost died. His sister is a murderer. His resurrected sister is dying again. And his new girlfriend is a spy. So yeah, this cabin trip is going to be the absolute catalyst for the entire summer sweeps. Holly fainting is just the beginning. The fallout from Sophia's body being discovered is going to ripple through the teens, through Amy Choi, who is going to demand Melinda Trask file charges against someone, through Kristen, who is going to be scrambling to hide her tracks, and through EJ, who is going to have to clean up the mess. I honestly can't wait to see how messy this gets. But seriously, writers, if you are listening, please, please, let Holly wake up from this fainting spell with a little bit of her mother's fire. We need Nicole too, not a weeping willow. Okay, I'm done venting.